Welcome back. This week we will talk about environmental footprints. We all know, of course, what a footprint is. It's the imprint that you leave behind when you walk over a soft surface. When we talk about environmental footprints, though, what we mean is it as a metaphor for all the environmental impacts that we, as humans, leave behind. So let us see how we do this. Follow me. First, we look at everything we do. That is all the things we build, such as roads, houses, or factories, and all the things we produce and consume, such as food, clothes, cars, computers, etc. And then we calculate how much resources we need for that and how much pollution is created. So we look at how much land we need for all of this activity, how much energy, how much water, and how many materials. We also then calculate how many greenhouse gases we emit, how much waste we generate, and how much air and water is polluted. All of this together is our total environmental footprint. And you can imagine that this is a pretty big footprint. This week, you will learn about different types of footprints. There is the carbon footprint, for example, that measures all the direct and indirect greenhouse gases that we emit. Then there is the water footprint that measures all the direct and indirect use of water. And the ecological footprint is basically a measure of the total land that we use directly and indirectly. Now, you have noticed already that I have distinguished between direct and indirect environmental impacts. And it is really important that we do so. I give you an example. Here we have a car with an internal combustion engine, and because this car burns fossil fuels, petrol or diesel, it creates emissions of greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide, that come directly out of the exhaust pipe of the car. Because these greenhouse gases are directly produced by the car itself, we call them direct emissions. And here we have an electric car that does not have an exhaust pipe. So there is no combustion engine, there's no fuel tank, there's just an electrical motor and batteries. So this car does not have any direct emissions of greenhouse gases, but, and this is very important, the car of course needs electricity to run, and if the electricity comes from a power station that runs on fossil fuels, then that still creates greenhouse gases. Not directly, not from the car directly, but indirectly from the power station. In Australia, more than 80% of all the electricity comes from fossil fuels, and most of it, more than 60%, comes from coal-fired power stations. So driving an electric car might have just the same carbon footprint as driving a petrol car. Unless, of course, the electricity of the car comes from the sun. Our own SunSwift from UNSW has a very low carbon footprint indeed. It is not completely zero because you still need to produce the materials, the plastic, the PV cells, the tires and so on. And this might still produce some indirect greenhouse gas emissions in the production process. But it will be much, much smaller than the carbon footprint of any car that is on our roads today. This week, you will calculate your own ecological footprint with an online tool. And the results from all students will be compared against each other and against the ecological footprints of other people around the world. Please make full use of all the online resources that we've put together for you this week. And now, I want to ask you a question. So think of our university, UNSW Sydney, and of all the greenhouse gases that are released directly and indirectly from all the activities on campus. Would you think that UNSW measures and reports its total carbon footprint? Please answer with yes or no right now at the end of the video. Thank you, and I see you in class soon.